So this is a continuation of the healing video. And of course, since psychic warfare is a zero-sum game, the healing energy has to come from somewhere. And as we've explained, it's coming from the Borg. And we've got the amplification with CERN and quantum computers, which I've explained at great length. But let's go back to Soviet psychic warfare, where a lady called Ivanova was healing people down the telephone line. In the process, she was tapping into her energy field, so obviously if it worked super efficiently, she could have been a Nagwal woman who has linkage to the fifth dimension. But anyway, she'd be draining herself to heal the person on the other end of the telephone line. So we can transmit stuff to heal others, which of course under Soviet psychic warfare would be torsionics, leptionics and scalionics, as well as the quantum perturbation associated with all that, plus of course the conscious field, which is intrinsic to collapse the quantum wave function of healing to that person, and it of course can be transmitted, because it's going down the telephone line, via the full vector of electromagnetism. So all of these are simple little Soviet psychic warfare experiments were the applied physics of reality physics, which none of the imbecile physicists have ever discovered, or will, because they've gone 100 years down the wrong path, and it was up to yours truly to discover it, and he's not telling anyone because he's a misanthrope. And would you give insane chimpanzeoids who like killing and torturing each other the ability to control reality? I think not. What do you think, cameraman?
I think so.
Anyway, that explains healing. It's an aspect of psychic warfare because the stuff has to be taken from somewhere and given to someone else. What if you reverse it? Here we've got the plagiarist Jew, the CIA frontman, the new Tim Rifat in CIA Looneyville, Jeremiah Schwartz, who thought he'd take over from me while the CIA shipped me off to their facility. And of course they could then Ivana me under torture and give the power to the Jews via this puppet who was the front man for me. So Ivana was supposed to suck me dry as I'm tortured in their facility and download via the full vector into the Jewish race via the poster boy on the internet, Jeremiah Schwartzy boy, to the rest of the Jewish race and their ilk. Don't know, have to be Jewish to be an imbecile. We've got Elon Musk, who's the world's greatest imbecile. So we come to the next bit, which is healing is the ultimate weapon for destroying the billionaires, trillionaires with Rothschild, Rockefeller, royal family, and of course their psychopathic functionaries, Fauci, the heads of the Western intelligence services, the Pentagon generals and the NATO filth. simply by doing Ivanova, as they're going to do to me, but sucking out energy from the targets, scalenics, torsionics, leptionics, to yourself. So it's having your cake and eat it. You heal yourself by making your targets ill, and then finally they leave the mortal coil, and my employee Lucifer, who gets paid the highest salary in Megaverse history, all the damned souls, tortures them eternally to make new light, because they want to distill the light. So of course they've accepted being tortured to source level to produce new light, which of course comes to me, the new source, and of course then I pay the archangel of light, Lucifer, as part of his salary. All makes sense now, does it not? So healing yourself is the ultimate pathway for Kalki, where all of the billionaires, trillionaires, and all of their psychopathic functionaries are all made ill and finally kick the bucket, and then are carted off by my employee Lucifer for source level torture to produce new light so I can make new reality using Higgs field. And now you can see that I spent such a long time getting to the point of how to do healing, because it's extremely involved, but like your smart TV, you don't need to be able to build it from scratch, you can simply operate it. Now, it's important that 100 vampires get into the habit of healing themselves every time they watch a screen. So, here's my prime torture toy, Elon Musk. Why? Supposedly the richest man, but of course the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, royal family make him look poor. And he, of course, has accused Vladimir Putin of being richer than him. But of course, Vladimir Putin's not an imbecile. He's eminently sensible and asked me for protection from this technology. So he gets 24/7 psychic bodyguarding from this technology, whilst Elon is being sucked dry with all of his imbecile children, all of whom are being sucked dry by me to heal myself. As I do that, we get the target, be it Elon or Hesketh or Nathaniel Rothschild, or a whole host of other psycho F-wits, losing scalenics, torsionics, leptionics, and of course the consciousness of health, all done by quantum perturbations. So here we can see that every time I see Elon Musk on the screen, he's healing me. And every time I see that, how is it happening? 4-vector electromagnetism. What's coming off the TV screen, cameraman?
Energy.
Exactly, via light, the 4-vector. So that's coming to me. So every time I watch this idiot, he's making me healthier.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know. The sort of the left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know. Yeah. Like you can't make fun of anything. So then it's like comedy sucks. It's like nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like legalize comedy. Yeah, legalize comedy. And you've chosen to say you're.
So one can see that all of the targets who are unprotected, and of course I've made sure that any psychic warfare protection given to these F-wits has been stilled thanks to the Wheel of Time. Where did you get that energy from? Watching Wheel of Time, using Ivanova to download that power into me via the 4 vector in order to broadcast to the American psychic warfare operators, stilling, so none of them have any capability, and they're shelled as grey men, so they only broadcast on their monitors what I want them to broadcast. Totally shelled and taken over by yours truly. So one can see that horrendous World War III is happening, but not only on the battlefield, be it in the Ukraine or in the Middle East, but it's happening with reality warfare. And Musk will kick the bucket, as will all of his family, as they make me healthier, and once I'm super healthy, I'll use their life force to extend my lifespan to Methuselah levels. Now, we're going back to 100 vampires. 100 of you need to fixate on sucking out, it's the intent, just imagine sucking on a straw, life force from Elon Musk and all of his children. And we've got the perfect video, just by chance, here.
Are there a legion of super babies? According to his newest baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, the world's richest man dreams of having enough children to save civilization. Ashley St. Clair is speaking out today, revealing the results of a paternity test that she says proves with 99.99% certainty that Musk is the father of her 7-month-old son. Just 2 weeks ago, Musk wrote, "I don't know if the child is mine or not." Here he is, Ashley says, in a New York hospital holding baby Romulus right after he was born. Musk has had at least 14 children with 4 women, 10 boys and 4 girls.
Hey, something.
His 4-year-old, little X, is the most visible. They go everywhere together, including the UFC event last weekend. And get this, according to the Wall Street Journal, multiple sources said they believe the true number of Musk's children is much higher, and he wants more. Ashley says that Musk suggested they use surrogates to make more babies faster, to reach legion level before the apocalypse. She claims he solicits women to have his babies on his social media app X. One woman says she turned him down, saying she wants no part of his harem drama. Musk talked about his love of baby making at a recent conference in Saudi Arabia.
I know you've been doing your part to maintain the birth rate in the U.S.
Kids. I am. I do have a lot of kids. And I encourage others to have lots of kids.
We reached out to Elon Musk for comment, but
All sucked dry to feed me. So you can see why I'm super soldier level of fitness, and of course connected by Elon's satellites, the 4 vector, to all parts of the planet. So the American psychic warfare operators, now stilled and grey-menned, thanks to Bezos, give no protection to the American filth, and every time 100 of you vampires concentrate on a target, we get the 100th monkey effect, which means that all of the haters, of which there are legions of Musk, can be used as surrogates, because now the whole human race can do vampiric healing by harming, which is the video, on the targets, all of whom have been designated. I've got a huge long list. I've been building my list, and if you're on the list, the human race now, because we've got over 100 vampires, have we not, are the 100th monkey doorway. So I'm using the entire human race to suck out healing energy from my target list, which includes all the billionaires, apart from Putin, all the trillionaires, all of the Western filth, and all of the slaves and associates of the Western filth. So you can see it's calculating time, and the more you heal yourself, the more you're harming the people on my list. And all I needed was 100 vampires to complete it. So, whenever you watch one of my targets on the television, you are healing yourself and making them less healthy, which of course turns to illness, and then of course they kick the bucket, and Lucifer takes them off to produce new light for me, and Lucifer gets payment in light, as well as a body in the future. We just have to decide which of the witches I shall choose. Anyway, to continue. Now you might go, Tim, this hasn't worked before. Well, of course, if you know the reality equations, you need a 5-dimensional operant, a Nagwal woman, to initiate the love-hate, which is vital for the upload of the healing energy and vital for sucking dry the filth, the Western filth, that infests the planet with the billionaire trillionaires who think it's their real estate, but in fact, unless they're protected, they're not long for the world. And in the process, they provide healing energy to my vampires, and of course the entire human race, because of the 100th monkey, is sucking out healing energy from my targets for the vampires, which is me. But the key to all of this is turning love into hate, or loving consciousness that brings harm and death and eternal torture. And of course, this was when we could start sucking dry and healing ourselves and making my enemies on the list all extremely unwell, kicking the bucket and then carted off by Lucifer for realization. Love, the most loved female on the planet, turning into hatred. Here it is.
Well, it looks like some football fans are not enchanted.
She was used to manipulate time density. Remember, time density by Kozarev is only available if you're a 5-dimensional entity. And of course, all of this technology to transmit healing energy comes from the 4 vector of electromagnetism. So unless you're a Nagwal, you're simply matrix made real by the Higgs field download of the Nagwals in your population. And of course, this one was the centerpiece of the American psychic warfare program, their 5D operator to access the 5-dimensional Riemann manifold with Kozarev time density that's only available to be used if you're 5-dimensional, and of course all the other attributes. And the Super Bowl, where we collapsed the lover into hatred, initiated the ability to suck out all of my target list for healing via 100 of my vampires. So every time you watch the TV, you have to intend to be healing yourself while watching the TV screen, knowing that you're going to be hurting, and then that person will have a much shortened lifespan and then be called off by Lucifer for eternal torture, which of course is you are loving, doing ultimate evil to the target list. See? Love turning to hatred. See? So you see why I balefire Taylor and got rid of it, because everything they did with this 5-dimensional operator was erased, and we popped into my reality where every single member of my target list has been taken out by yours truly, and their entire lives from conception to their death was controlled by me, because I'm the cause of their death. And of course, if you want more love turning to hate to use for this sucking out, you've got Trump, who was adored by the MAGAs and now is hated by the MAGAs, to power you. So every time you watch Trump, you increase your ability to suck dry any of my targets. You know, be it the royal family, or any of the billionaires, or the head of the CIA, or the Trump administration, or the Pentagon generals, or Macron, Starmer. I mean, you know, the only place for Starmer's under a rock after he's been crushed. The German piece of filth, the NATO vermin. Love turned hate. We got more to power this technology. And of course, the most hated man on the planet, Elon Musk, who has been going around sacking all the government employees, and he was worshipped as the world's richest man, love, turning to hatred now. So what you do is you simply grab Trump's love hate, Elon Musk's Trump hate, and Taylor's love to hate, and these are the engines of being able to suck dry and heal yourself on a mammoth scale. Anyone you're watching on the TV screen who's on my target list. So if you're not on my target list and you try and suck them dry, nothing will happen. Why? Because of course it's vital for sucking dry from Sochivanov that use Sochivanov number 2, hatred. And no one hates to above total power set level or source level like yours truly. So the rest of you don't matter. So everyone on my target list has been Sochivanov number 2 with respect to all the good things in life and their health and their children and all aspects of them outside of screaming in Lucifer, run, Omega hell to make you like for me. All of that has been erased by Sochivanov number 2. So as you can see, when you're doing Ivanova, you download love from Ivanova into the target, who of course is in a state of illness, which of course is the negative hate bit. You can think of illness as hatred made manifest in the body, so you've got the love-hate there. But we're doing it the opposite way, where we are using love-hate with us Sochivanovizing, hating the target and loving ourselves. It's as simple as that. How do I proper hating? I hate you, and I love doing it, and it makes me feel well and younger. And of course, you, of your own free will, have accepted my source damnation, because the source always tortures you forever to make the source light, via Jeremiah Schwartzy boy, who of course must have had ultimate hatred for a Muslim, Amalek, an animal, and loved doing it. Hence, we can add Jeremiah Schwartzy boy and the CIA to the list, and Hesketh, who hates Muslims, and the entire American administration who hates Muslims. That's fine. Thank you very much. I'll heal myself while I slowly and horribly, or in some cases super fast, make you ill, kick the bucket cart enough to make you light by your eternal torture. So you're beginning to see the mechanics of vampirism, which means when you're watching the target, it's useful to absolutely hate them and love hating them, knowing that you're benefiting from hating them, and you love doing what you're doing. And once you get 100 of them, it's 100 monkeys, so the entire human race, every of the Dodge people that hate Elon and the left-wingers are, in fact, helping the process.
John, as head of President Donald Trump's effort to cut the size of government is costing me a lot, in his words, costing me a lot, when it comes to his other big job as CEO at Tesla. Guys, what do you think about this? Should Elon Musk stand down? Should he do that? I mean, what's your opinion? What's your take on this? Should he stand down from Doge, or should he stand down from Tesla, or both? Let me know what your thoughts are. Political backlash.
So one can see it's already working, and it's really kicked off since Taylor was sucked dry by me and bail fired. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Now we've got Becky. Now, let's go to the next bit. We know governments are using psychic warfare. They now know the secrets of psychic warfare. So once we get 100 Iranian psychic warfare operators healing themselves by picking on a target, that target's going to start to get unwell, and then eventually kick the bucket, and Lucifer will cart them off to my Omega Health facility to make new light and make Lucifer bigger and brighter as I pay him. You can see my whole point of enslaving Lucifer was not to have him as an unpaid minion, but simply to have him as my highest paid employee. How can you guarantee the 100% cooperation of an employee? Well, enslave them and then pay them. There's no way of getting around occult contracts. So you can see Tim Refat is paranoid. And just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean I'm not out to get you. Here we go.
Fanatical defenders of Iran's revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini founded the Revolutionary Guard in 1979. It was to be a volunteer corps of loyal foot soldiers to counter the conscript military that Khomeini didn't trust. These were some of the corps' first casualties, killed in fighting with the Kurds.
The Revolutionary Guards were created in order to preserve the revolution so that the United States could not carry out a counter coup, or a coup, not a counter coup, but a coup in the country and overthrow the revolution. It was a popular revolution, so there were many young people who wanted to join.
It was the Iran-Iraq War, which lasted for 8 years, where the Revolutionary Guard made its name. These men are chanting for martyrdom. They believed faith would overcome Iraq's technical superiority. Young men would walk across minefields to clear a path for the military.
The army had to defend the country in the face of a much more powerful foe. The Revolutionary Guards, though, since they were a volunteer force, they were highly motivated. And Therefore, when they went to aid the army, they were very effective, and the army, along with the Revolutionary Guards, were able to push back Saddam Hussein's forces.
President Ali Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani oversaw the Revolutionary Guard's expansion. Engineering skills learned during the war were used in post-war reconstruction. Front companies not subject to sanctions were established to carry out the work. The Guards also expanded their involvement in internal security. They suppressed these student protests in 1999 and have been used to crack down violently on any dissent since then. And the Quds Force was created by the Guards to train proxy groups outside Iran, such as Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. Iranian-backed fighters have been used to support pro-regime forces in Syria and help Shia militias fight ISIL in Iraq.
Their deterrence, their potential deterrence, their capability of helping deter foreign aggression, I think, is one reason why the Americans do not seriously contemplate armed conflict with Iran.
There are around 125,000 members of the Guards' land, sea and air forces. And there's these fighters, the Besiege, a part-time voluntary militia that has several 100,000 members ready to be mobilised. It all makes the Revolutionary Guards the most important single organisation inside the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Right, so when we get 100 of the Revolutionary Guard looking at a target, and they've got to get into this love-hate state, and just by chance, Muslims are perfect for all aspects of psychic warfare. Why? Because we love and worship the most negative thing in infidels' lives. What's the most negative thing in your life, infidel cameraman? What's the thing that's 100% guaranteed that's going to happen to you and you fear it the worst?
Death.
Death, exactly. But us Muslims, us mad Muslims, we love death. The highest ascension into Allah is to die as a martyr. So you can't threaten a real Muslim, not the scum that infests the West and goes around raping and doing horrible things to the Western population. They're just vermin. But a true Muslim embraces death as sacrifice to Allah and the only true pathway to ascension. And we've explained why. Now, that means we've got the love-hate embedded in this lot, even if they're satanic Muslims. Now, once they concentrate on a target and start attacking them with hatred, you know, psychic warfare, you intend hatred and harm, and you love doing it, and it's the intrinsic core part of a Muslim, then of course Muslims are perfect for psychic warfare. That's why Kalki had to be a Muslim. He couldn't be a Christian or a Taoist or a Buddhist. Had to be a Muslim. You see now why? Because Kalki is simply eliminating all of the unrighteous, and everyone on my list is unrighteous, be it Gates, Fauci, Musk, Hesketh, and all the Rothschilds, Rockefellers and royal family. And of course, once we get 100 of these psychic warfare operators, and remember the entire population, apart from the fifth column who love the Westerners, absolutely loathe the targets. Who was the most loathed target for the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Psychic Warfare Command. So Netanyahu's had his prostate out and a pacemaker, so he's becoming very unwell. You can see though, Sochivanov, because Sochivanov explained that you can give psychic powers, in this case he was talking about dowsing, and Colin Bloy attested to be given dowsing ability to a very high level from Britain's foremost dowser. And he was very good at dowsing, didn't he? Dowsing rods, use his hands. And of course I sucked Colin dry, so I'm very good at dowsing with my hands. And how did I do that? Well, I simply hated Colin and loved doing it to him. So he became very ill, lost his money, and died an itinerant healer with not a pot to piss in. And I, of course, became a multi-millionaire and super fit, and got all of his Nagel superpowers. So you can see, oh, healing. Yeah, I heal myself, but I'm doing horrible things to you, and I love it. Vampirism. See? So, Netanyahu was targeted by the Iranians, but remember, it doesn't matter if you've got 100 or 10 million haters of the most hated man in Iran, Netanyahu. They're only equivalent to the most powerful of the group. And they're all pygmies or midgets in the psychic warfare realm. But it doesn't matter if you link up a million, they'll only be as powerful as the most powerful in the group. So numbers don't matter, it's quality, not quantity. But of course, they link up to the 100 monkey effect, where the entire, Muslim race and the left-wingers hate Netanyahu. And of course, that's why Netanyahu isn't dead, because if I was doing it, he'd be dead by now. But if you get a rat gnawing at your ankles, and you get 1,000 rats gnawing at your ankles, it's not going to do you much good, is it, cameraman? So, who's the next target for the Iranians? Well, that's of course Trump. Here we go. And we see the first signs of this on his right hand, where that's indicative of circulatory collapse. Well, you can imagine, if you've got lots of psychic warfare barbs damaging your blood vessels, they might not be able to do much quick damage, but it's slow attrition of his health. And you can see when you get a bruise that large on your hand, you've got very poor circulation, and of course it indicates that your immune system's attacking you, damaging your own blood vessels. So it's not a good sign, and it's indicative of Iranian, because I'm not doing it, he'd be dead by now if I was doing it, of Iranian psychic warfare attack on Trump. And one can see now that if you're a world leader, you need protection from this technology. And it was in the Mail yesterday that another bruise had appeared. So look at the Mail yesterday, and you'll find another big bruise has appeared. So obviously he's getting treatment for something too. Might be sticking an intravenous IV in there, and all the bruising's indicating that shouldn't be happening. So it looks like Trump's got ill health, and we know now why Trump has got ill health, apart from age and McDonald's. It's the Iranian psychic warfare program that's targeting him 24/7. And they might be psychic pygmies, but let's be honest, would you want a pygmy kicking the shit out of you 24/7, cameraman?
No.
Now, we've got rid of all the Nagwal women, apart from the mad Muslim one, because it's haram to do her in. It's against the religion. She, of course, hopefully will do herself in with her fiance, but she definitely hates Netanyahu. And, of course, since she's an Nagwal woman, she can be used for 5-dimensional time flow manipulation by Muslims, and she's not madly keen on the genocide.
Controversial, but some statements she's made over the past few years about Israel have been. She's called the current war in Gaza genocide, and in 2021, a well-known rabbi took out this full-page ad in the New York Times criticizing.
That was Rabbi Shmuley, who hates Candace Owens, and Candace Owens got voted the most anti-Semitic person on the planet. Rabbi Shmuley doesn't like you, you get the media after you. Oh, and Candace Owens called Rabbi Shmuley's daughter a hag, that's it, yeah. Watch Candace Owens for that controversy, it's hilarious. Anyway, continue.
Words kind of thrown at me, things that I don't believe represent who I am or what I believe in at all. Like, I've always only ever wanted peace, really. It's devastating what's happening over there. There's bombs happening between both Israel and Palestine, and children are dying and families are being separated, and it's just devastating to sit back and see it happen.
Some people are saying what you said was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, and it's just not, I think it was very unfairly treated by the Times.
Dua Lipa's music may not be
So, that's a bit of bad news for Trump, because of course we've got a 5-dimensional Nagwal woman who can be used by the Iranians to link them to the 5D Riemann manifold, as Taylor was used by the infidel filth before I stilled her, bailfired her, and the rest. And of course, since she opened her mouth, they've been trying to pay her off with anything and everything. So, Albert Hall concert, Country Music Awards with Chris Stapleton, her tour in Australia now. They're trying to buy her to shut up and do what she's told. So you can see a bit of a bummer, because we've got a 5D Nagwal woman who has the love-hate. She hates the Israelis and, of course, loves the Palestinians fighting for the two-state solution, which, of course, is a figment of the Palestinians' imagination. That's gone long ago. And why I despise Hamas is anyone who would start a conflict with Israel and end up killing hundreds of thousands of your own people. That's not people I want to follow. Do you want to follow them, cameraman? No. They are people who think of their own people as cannon fodder. And as I say, would it not be better for the Palestinians not to have started the war and to follow Trump's plan, which is if you want to leave Gaza, which is a hellhole concentration camp prior to October the 7th, now it's a killing field, simply allow them to migrate and pay the countries, as they're paying $1 million a go, to put the vermin from America in a South American hellhole. $1 million a month they're paying to house those vermin in that nasty prison. So you can see Trump's idea of cleaning out the Palestinians and turning Gaza into oceanfront property is the only sane view. Getting all your people bombed, starved to death, and eventually kicked out because the Israelis aren't going to stop is not smart. But of course, we've got the love-hate here, and of course Rabbi Shmuley took out the full-page ad. I think it was in one of the Washington Post or New York Times or whatever. You look it up. Against her, Gigi and Bella, because Gigi and Bella have got a Palestinian father. I, of course, take the opposite view. The Palestinians supporting the satanic Alawites under Assad, and they deserve all they get, and they're getting all they get. But as you can see, things are dire for Trump, and with this healing technology to harm, once you've got 100 of you operating, you open up all of the haters on the planet who hate the target to Sochavanov to lower. Think of, you've got, say, billions of people who hate Netanyahu. They're all doing Sochavanov #2. Once you get 100 operators targeting Netanyahu, which means even though they're, fleas, you get thousands of fleas biting you, you can die of flea bites. I think it's water buffaloes and various other grazers in Africa can lose a couple of pints of blood a day from mosquitoes. So you see the key, get 100 operating on the target, get into the love-hate mode. You need the love-hate mode access door, so you can step through the Taylor hatred, love-hatred at Super Bowl, step through the Elon Musk love-hatred, step through the MAGA love-hatred of Trump, step through her if you're a Muslim, to be able to access the fifth dimension for Kozyrev time density, which means then if the Iranians take out Netanyahu, that means that Netanyahu's entire life was controlled by them. So if we do that, then of course Israel's going to be doomed. We're going to get the Iran-Israel war, because the Iranians want to destroy Israel. And of course they've taken over the whole life of Netanyahu, who is the architect of the war. So you can see how it works. All because of this Nagel woman who's a Muslim, and it's against yours truly religion to balefire her.
Standing by her controversial comments on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the 28-year-old Grammy winner recently called Israel's military actions in Gaza genocide in an Instagram post to her 88 million followers, urging people to show solidarity with Gaza. Despite the backlash, Lipa says she carefully considers her statements, believing they serve a greater good. Her heritage, being of Kosovan Albanian descent, influences her political views. Lipa acknowledges the risk, but feels it's necessary to speak out. Singer Dua Lipa is
So you can see why she's one of my lot, because the Turks invaded Yugoslavia, and it was either become a Muslim or die, and she's one of the descendants of the Christians that mingled with the Turks, so that's why she looks like a very much younger and prettier version of yours truly. Because my mother was Prussian and father was Turkish. The intermix between the Turks and the High Germans, not the filth from West Germany. So we can take bets on when Trump will get seriously ill, and then we'll kick the bucket. We can start a tote with the Iranians targeting him 24/7, and unlike the heads of the other two great powers, the Chinese and the Russians, who are fully protected by yours truly. Why does that work? Well, such Ivanov. I'm the most powerful psychic on the planet and the most powerful hater. I hate everybody and anybody. Such Ivanov number 2, anyone targeting Putin or Xi Jinping, and my most beloved person, Kim Jong-un, the great leader. Oh, he's wonderful. So they lose all power to harm the protected, and since I'm the most powerful meta-psychic on the planet by, well, no comparison, the rest are irrelevant. So you can see they don't mind me spreading psychic warfare information because I'm okay, Jack. This bit. He's doing Ivanova, healing down the telephone line. From Vietnam, mediated by Taylor Swift. So isn't it ironic, the last hope for Trump is the person he despises and she despises. It's hilarious.